Options is a very unique program. We have a online, fully virtual. We have book-based, and we have academy, which is face-to-face.
We have students all over the state.
This is a fast track to where I want to be in the future, so I'm able to learn at my pace.
It's just been the right option for our family.
The family may have 4 children, and each child could be on a very prescribed, specific program for that child.
We're the perfect school concept.
Welcome to another Options Virtual Charter School Scoop. I hope you enjoyed the intro. First time we did it, it worked well. Great video production there from Chameleon Productions. And welcome to a School Scoop. This is our, what is it, Miss Rimey? Is it our third one?
I think this is number 4.
This is number 4. And the reason we keep doing them is because you keep asking. And we want you to understand the secret that exists in Walworth County. And as Mrs. Spendy said, the perfect school concept. Let's go around and do some quick introductions. I'm Chris Trottier. I'm the Director of Strategic Partnerships for the Elkhorn Area School District. Miss Rimey?
I am Jess Rimey. I am the high school principal at Options Virtual Charter School.
I'm Joe Orin.
Alumnus.
Class of? What class, Joe?
Class of 2023.
Okay, good.
Nice. And I'm Sam Brewington. I'm a new student specialist with Gateway Technical College.
All right. So you got the introductions. We got a presentation for you. This is going to be super informational. Here's our goal today. So Miss Rimey, has come up with a series of these school scoops to get everybody informed about the plethora of opportunities at the Options Virtual Charter High School experience. We know virtual is new to some people, but it's not new to Joe. So I'm going to hand it off to a celebrated graduate that we're fortunate enough to have who actually pulled over, maybe even took off work for us. So Miss Rimey, take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. Excited to be back on our Options School Scoop and to really bring you the next series of giving you information of what does it look like and what are the supports available for students who are interested in dual programming. And one of our most prized partnerships is with Gateway Technical College. And that partnership is really special to us. They work so hard to ensure that students in the Elkhorn Area School District have opportunities and possibilities where they can really engage in their future now. And I wanted to give our school community insights, not just into Gateway, but also into the student experience. And I was looking at the alumni list and Joe's name popped up. And I have to admit, I'm biased, Chris. Joe was a 6th grade student of mine. And you could be having the worst day possible. And Joe would walk in with his smile and positive attitude and just kindness that he gave everybody, and it would just turn your day around immediately. So Joe, I am so excited to have you on today.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking off of work. I appreciate that. Give us some insight into, let's go back in time. You're an option student. You're going to high school. It's a virtual concept. And all of a sudden, Gateway comes into your path. Tell me about that.
So it started when COVID hit in March of 2020. I liked going online. You know, it was easier for me. I could work. I could go to school. So I decided to do it full-time through Options because that was my option at the time. Then I was going to graduate early. You know, I had my plan set. I was like, I'm going to graduate, going to go to college. Then Sarah Stone, the previous principal of Options, came to me and said, instead of graduating early, why don't you stay here fully and we can help pay for the Gateway schooling so you can at least get the gen eds out of the way before you graduate. So between her and the team you guys built there and the Gateway crew that was helping me at the time, they pushed me to sign up for Gateway classes, at least the gen eds, to learn what I wanted. But since I already knew what I wanted, I just went fully for the degrees. And then I started college when I was 15 and a half, 16 years old.
Oh, that's amazing. What was the programs that you were interested in?
So the 2 main programs I was interested in was culinary for sure, But then I also wanted to major in like some business or minor in business. I wasn't fully set on those yet though. So I decided to go for culinary as that's what I had set for years.
All right. Tell me a little bit about your experience in the culinary program.
So a lot of people were shocked when I first started because they didn't think I was that young. Um, they were confused on how a 15 and a half, 16-year-old can get into school, especially college. But with the virtual program, it allowed me to work on my school faster so I can get to that point faster. So, they saw how fast I was working, efficiently I was working, and I built friendships and relationships with all the teachers, all the staff, and students. And it allowed me to enjoy my time there as a student more and felt like I was wanted to be there, not just being there to be in school.
Yeah, I think that belongingness is something that all of us instinctually crave, and by opening up different opportunities at the high school level, I'm glad to hear that that was the fit for you. What were some of your favorite courses that you took?
I'm more of a hands-on person, so I would definitely say all the culinary classes. Culinary one was fun, learn the basics. I met some amazing people during that course. Baking was fun. I liked them all. The one I struggled with a little bit was garde manger, which is more of like the design part of culinary, so the artistic part. I'm not too artistic, but I can do it if I have to.
Taste matters, right? Taste matters, number one.
So
Right.
So, Miss Remy, I'm going to step in really quick, just because I think there's something as I sit here and listen, and I don't know, Sam, if you're picking up on some cues here, but as we connect the gateway experience with Options Virtual Charter, I'm hearing one, I started taking classes when I was 15 and a half, college level classes. Number two, I heard that they were free of charge from the Elkhorn Area School District. And it sounded like they were unlimited, like you could go take as many as you wanted. And then lastly, the virtual charter worked collaboratively with Gateway and got you into your preferred career of choice, where you then earned how many degrees before you walked across the stage in Elkhorn?
I earned 2 degrees and I believe it was 3 certificates.
Wow.
Before I walked the stage of high school.
Incredible.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. And what kind of work experience did that lead into, having those credentials?
Having those credentials allowed me to step into a higher role before I even had to get the experience. Even though I had minimal experience in culinary, I just allowed myself to step up more into like sous chef positions for a kitchen. And it taught me the leadership skills that I needed to run a team.
Absolutely. Thank you. You want to give us, you've graduated, you're an alumnus, this program really helped, get you to the next level and quickly. I think, as Chris had brought up, at a young age, getting started with that meant you graduate high school and you're already elevated and ready for higher jobs. Where are you working now? What are you up to now?
I'm currently at the Grand Geneva Resort and Spa in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. I'm currently a cook 1, but I am working on my way up to sous right now.
All right, fantastic. Any particular restaurant or area or type of food that you work with mostly?
I assist in all outlets if I need to. I get pushed wherever I am wanted and needed at the time, but most of the time I'm in the banquet kitchen producing bulk foods.
You saying to me that you're oftentimes willing to help or be pushed around wherever you does not surprise me, Joe, as I know that you're very caring and willing to be a team player. As young as 11, that was you. And so I'm excited to see how that is now coming into fruition, into leadership on a big scale.
Joe, I got a question for you. What's your favorite dish to prepare?
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
So this, for me, changes quite often. I've worked under a few chefs.
Most recent,
I would say more Asian cuisine.
Ooh.
One chef that I worked with got me addicted to making homemade lumpia.
Okay,
And so
educate me. I don't know what lumpia is.
it is a
Have
pork
any
cabbage.
wasabi?
It's kind of like an egg roll, but it has different stuffings and stuff, which mine has a secret ingredient, which I'm not going to say because it makes it
Oh,
10
it's a
times
secret.
better. It is a secret. I can't tell you what's in it, but I can make you some if you'd like one day, and I'll bring it to you.
Now we're doing something.
Options potluck.
Now we're doing something.
I better get an invite.
Yeah. So, Joe,
yeah.
go ahead, Jess.
Oh, I was just going to ask Joe. When you look back at your experience, and I have students right now, some worried about making that step. We've got parents listening in. Is this right for my kid? What advice would you have for them?
There's a lot of things I could say for advice. Stay motivated is number one, though. If you're motivated to push for a career that you know is at Gateway, go for it. The school, you guys personally, virtual charter school and Gateway has helped me so much, helped me push for my dreams, my career path. There's never a dull moment if you stay motivated.
Did you feel like you talked about how you enjoyed the virtual experience as you went through the abrupt halt to the traditional experience, right? And this opened the door for you. And I'm sure there's a lot of kids out there and students and now adults who have felt the same way. Did you ever feel like you missed anything?
At first, I felt like I was missing the chance, but I look back at it, I'm like, no, I didn't, because I got the high school experience through virtual charter schools, which was you guys, but I also got to meet people that are older and can help me succeed more and build a career for myself, which is what I was more focused on during that time.
What was your, like, you kind of talked about, obviously from the way Miss Remy describes it, you were probably, a little older and wiser for your age, and you kind of gravitated towards that adult mentorship and those adult classes, older classes. Like, how about the support you received? Did you feel, what levels of support did the Options Virtual Charter provide you as you're this 15-and-a-half-year-old going, ooh, let me take some college credits?
They helped me all, like, from the start to finish. They helped me talk to the people, my advisors at Gateway. They assisted me into finding the correct steps, told me and assisted me how to take those courses. So instead of just fully jumping into it, they said, take these, and this will help you push into these classes without being unprepared for them.
I love that, Joe. I think, Chris, when we look at the kind of the option school scoops that we've had, and we've talked about, our virtual programming, and we've talked about, some of the just different uniqueness that we can provide families. I hope support is something that families feel when they work with us. And we have Mrs. Kunitomo, solely someone that works with our students and works with Sam to ensure that not only are our students ready for that challenge in their schedule, but that they're not alone. If your student is interested in that, reach out to our school. We'll get you connected to Mrs. Kunitomo. And we highly recommend Gateway as a partnership, because then you get to work with Sam. Yeah. And she's awesome and helps you get a schedule and going.
Was that a segue?
I tried my best.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. So before we go to Sam, and we're so excited to have her, and I give her so much credit for pulling over after a busy day with middle schoolers?
Yeah, 600 middle schoolers.
And look at this. Before I go, the beauty is we get people to chime in and actually and give comments. So if you have questions or comments that you would like to share, we can post them. But it looks like you got one for happy 20th birthday yesterday, Joe.
Happy birthday.
Yes. This is our gift to you. So as you're getting red face going, really? So,
a little bit.
As your sister puts an angry face on. So anyways, but that's the wonder. That's what happens when you're famous. Yeah. So all right, Sam. So we have a presentation here. So let's talk a little bit about See, they're all chiming in right now. Look at this.
You've got
Look
a
at this.
crazy
Diamond's on
supportive
there now,
family. Look
too.
at that.
Huh? Um,
Shout
all
out
right,
to the
Sam,
Orin
so-
family. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. So let's talk a little bit. Okay, so you kind of walk me through the slide. So we got the amazing welcome to Gateway, which is a strong, obviously, health science pathway. Probably one of Gateway's largest pathways is the health science right now. Is that fair to say, Sam?
That is absolutely fair to say. I would say it's one of our most popular programs. And for me personally, it's the, students who are interested in that pathway that tend to gravitate to me the most. Those programs tend to have additional steps in order to get accepted, like background checks, other things involved, like with uploading documents to their accounts and whatnot. So we definitely focus on supporting all students, but I find that those nursing assistant, and really any of the medical pathway students really gravitate towards those support services. But yeah, so this is a great slide to be on. I was just thinking while Joe was talking, all of this, ties so well into Gateway's vision, which is making life-changing educational opportunities a reality. He probably wasn't thinking that Gateway could offer this to him, and a lot of students that I tend to meet within our high schools do want to graduate early and they just want to get out, and some are considering colleges and other ones are like, no, I just want to go into work because I know I can make money. And when we talk to them about these life-changing opportunities that we all want to offer them, whether it's at Options or Gateway or the partnership between us both, I think that Joe is a perfect example of how we actually do make a difference in our local community, and seeing that he's working for local, companies and making a difference in our economy. That is just, it's exactly what we're here to do. And so I'm happy to see that. Moving forward to this next slide, we have a lot of different options. So I know, a lot of the students that I tend to meet with, they feel a little overwhelmed with all of the different opportunities available to them. That's what we're here to help support. I go out into all of the Walworth County high schools. My colleagues go to Racine and Kenosha County high schools, work with high schoolers. We also have in-person, on-campus services available for our adult population. And for anybody, whether you're in high school or an adult, say you can't make it into campus, we have virtual options where we can call you, where we can do a Zoom session and help get you the support that you need.
Sam, how many? I mean, I know you're on the spot here, right?
Yeah.
Like, here we go. So we're not expecting you to know every answer, right?
Sure. I can
Talk
do
a
my
little-
best to try, though.
Well, we have faith in you and confidence. So, talk a little bit about, because we have kids who attend the Options Virtual Charter School from all over the state of Wisconsin. We have them from north of Minocqua to east of Oshkosh to Racine, and then all the way over to Chippewa Valley, Hudson. Talk a little bit about some virtual opportunities. I know you have the Virtual Associates of the Arts and Science, but go in a little bit about it on the opportunities that exist virtually.
Yeah, so we have a lot of different virtual options, whether you're currently in high school and looking to take a virtual class to, start getting the ball rolling and earning some college credits and hopefully having your high school pay for it. That would be an option for you to go through Start College Now and enroll in any course as a junior or senior. Additionally, after that, say you're graduating from high school and you want to look at what are your associate degree, technical degree, or certificate options that you have available to you. We have over 20 different virtual programs that can be completed completely online. So those range anywhere from, accounting, graphic design, supply chain management. They're really kind of like all over the board. The ones that you're going to find that are more in person are things like Joe did, like culinary. It's hard to, get a degree with it so manual, online. But no matter what program you go into, there's always going to be that virtual online aspect as well. And even if we have a degree that, say, is marked as fully in person in Elkhorn, right? There are going to be virtual options that you can work with your counselors to talk about. You can start virtually and then figure out a plan of how you're going to, commit to the classes that you may have to take in person.
Joe, you said before the show, I thought you said you took a percentage of classes virtually. Were those some of those gateway classes?
All my gen eds for Gateway were mostly online, yes.
Got it. So when you said gen eds, we're talking math, science, English
Correct.
classes? Okay, good.
Correct.
Yeah. And just for people out there, because I use gen eds a lot too, general education requirements. It's a, shortened version of that word that we tend to use a lot in higher ed.
Got it. Okay, so here's a slide of all the programs. Here's some. I think this is a really cool slide because Joe, you said you got a certificate, a technical diploma, and an associate's. Is that correct?
I actually earned 3 certificates and then both technical and associate degree.
Before graduating high school.
Correct.
Come on.
And did your high school pay for all of that?
They paid for all my courses except for the last semester because I was graduated, basically.
Got it. That's amazing.
So
amazing. Go ahead,
I totally agree. I love it. And I wanna throw it out there that if you are interested in taking some college level courses while you're in high school, we have an entire team dedicated to helping support you through that. We want to help make sure that we're walking students through what their options are. A lot of times when I meet with students, they're like, oh, I just want to take this one class. I'm like, okay, I'm glad to know that this is a starting point for us. Now let's talk about what opportunities are tied to that. What certificate can you get for this? How are you going to use that certificate? Is that certificate embedded in a larger program like a technical degree or an associate degree or technical diploma or an associate degree? So there's all of these different things that as a new student specialist, as soon as I hear that you're taking a dual credit class, my ears perk up and I'm like, okay, how do we make sure that you're as educated as we can get you? So, okay, it's not just one class. This one class is actually leading to a future opportunity of me graduating with something that's going to get me that next job. Yeah, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know what school district in the state of Wisconsin has the most technical certificates from a Wisconsin technical college system?
I'm not aware, but if I had to guess, I would say options.
It's the Elkhorn Area School District.
Oh, area.
That's okay. And options is a part of that.
Yes.
Options is a part of that. And actually, our school district just set a record for the most transcripted courses completed in the Gateway system. Pretty impressive.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And I just share that because I think I want everybody to know that that's really embedded as part of the fabric of the vision for options, which is why, Ms. Rami, you made the immediate decision as a leader to invest in Ms. Kunatomo to make sure that you had those supports.
Exactly. I want to make sure that, whether it's Gateway or another institution, that we have someone on our end really supporting you, hoping along with your family that you reach those dreams and helping you realize that your future really can start now, along with helping you pay for your books and the tuition and getting you connected with the advisors at the next level. So you're not just taking these courses, you're taking courses in a pathway that gets you a degree or a certificate. And it means something in the real world.
So keep going, Sam. We interrupted you, but we had to do that plug for the overarching vision here.
That's perfect. And I love that. And the last thing that I really want to talk about before we move on from this slide is our transfer opportunities. I know a lot of people nowadays are considering, let's go to this college or this UW university. I myself went straight to university after graduating. I graduated locally from Westosha Central and was able to, get accepted to UW Stevens Point. Felt like a dream come true. I loved my experience, but I will say I wish I would have paid more attention to, the educational institution right here in my backyard. I could have saved so much money. I have a significant amount of student debt that I carry with me. And I think about, these articulation agreements that we have now, where, it's an agreement you can complete your gen eds or those general education requirements with Gateway about half the cost of what a local UW school, UW Milwaukee, Parkside, Whitewater, all of these schools, we have agreements with them now where you start with Gateway, you earn your credits at about half the cost. Your entire, 2 years, first 2 years, going to be roughly $15,000, give or take some change. And, then you take those credits with you to whatever institution you want. And you're able to graduate on a 4-year timeline still at a significantly reduced rate or cost to the student. And for me, if I would have chosen that option because of my familial situation at the time and what I qualified for financial aid, my financial aid would have paid for my entire experience with Gateway. And then I may have taken out student loans, if I transferred out after that. But it would have saved me time and money, honestly, in huge and significant ways that looking back, hindsight is 2020. But, I try and share my experience with students to try and hope that it just strikes something with them, because I think, at such a developmental age, it's hard to know what is the right decision to make until you're, already done with it.
Well, I'm sitting here with an Eau Claire Blue Gold softball sweatshirt because I have a daughter who's at UW Eau Claire. And guess what? She took her senior year and said it was the number one thing that prepared her for being successful at the university. The associates of the AS and I think AS or AA Academy.
Yep. Yeah, that liberal arts academy. That's an incredible opportunity. I love our academies, the way that they function, and we're able to work it into the school day for students. That to me is just one of the coolest experiences. That and transcripted credit, it makes it so accessible to students to be able to take those college level courses where they're at already. That to me is just, one of the long list of opportunities that we can give students.
So Joe, when you went into this, you kind of knew right away that you were going into the culinary space, right?
Correct.
You took advantage. Obviously, we at the top here we got the certificates. Did you have any career counselors at Gateway? Did you have supports at Gateway that you took advantage of?
I used all the resources that I was handed through Gateway and Option Virtual Charter School. So I used my advisors. I used, the library. People would always come and help you if you needed help with, your papers or anything for any class. I used the instructors because they would help us. I used every single resource I had available to me so I can succeed.
That's awesome. It sounds like there's on the option side and on the Gateway side, there was a plethora of a large number of supports for you.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I just want to throw in a quick plug that our, support services at Gateway, that's my favorite thing to talk to students about is I want to make sure that our students feel supported, just like Miss Rimey was saying, that's the whole feeling that we want you to have while you're going through your experience with us is how can we be there for you? Because you're the whole reason that, my job exists, right? So I get the chance to talk to you about scholarships. I get to talk to you about, say you have a IEP and you want, to make sure that you have additional support while you're in class. We have support services for that. Do you need a tutor or a mentor? We've got a program for that. If you're looking for a club to get involved, we have a community for that. And we've got all these different ways that you can get involved. So that is my biggest thing with brand new students. It's where do I start? What do I do? Come to that new student specialist. We are that gateway into all of the resources. Use that as a little pun in there. A gateway to all the resources that you're going to need, while you're going through college. So we want to connect you with the librarian, Dawn's amazing. You can rent all these cool items from her, or get the support that you need on that next test by going and seeing Jamie in the LSC. So we just have that personal connection to the people on campus. So it's not just like you're walking in and like, what do I do next? I don't know where to go. We want to help make that experience a little bit easier for you.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about the Gateway Promise, and then we'll jump into kind of we'll just highlight those support services as we transition back to Joe and Miss Remy. So talk a little bit so everybody's aware of the Gateway Promise, because I think this is a pretty unique opportunity that when you talk about these, and maybe I'm using antiquated language, but like these 2+2 agreements, these agreements where you take, like you said, your gen ed courses, and then your associates courses, and then they transfer to Parkside or UW Whitewater. When and that's got, a significant savings to families, especially knowing that the district is supporting our students, because one of our goals is an associate degree for as many graduates as possible. This is kind of like one of the hidden gems. Talk a little bit about what this is and how it impacts kids, families.
Yeah, Gateway Promise is honestly the reason that I feel like I missed out on Gateway. The Gateway Promise program is it's essentially a scholarship, right? So by applying to any program that's Promise eligible, which we have a whole Promise portion of our website where you can see a full list of each program that is eligible for Promise. Usually good key indicators are that the program that you're looking at is financial aid eligible. Typically, those two correlate, right? So you apply to a program, you work with me or a new student specialist on our team to get accepted, and you apply to financial aid. Those are the only two actionable steps that you have to take. After that, we help work with you to help you understand, are you graduating on time? Meaning, are you graduating anywhere between September and June of your senior year? That is considered on time, because I have a lot of students come to me and ask well, I'm graduating early in January. That's still technically considered graduating on time to us, and you can still be Promise eligible. We do have factors that we look at, like your high school GPA. We can look at ACT scores. In all reality, we are going to take a look and see where you are at academically and work with you to see that academic point. It is a big point, but it's something that we can talk to you, your counselor, and see if you're a good fit, maybe potentially if your scores are a little low. Or even have you take a placement test instead of using your ACT scores, things like that. So we have different options or avenues to try and meet that requirement. And then the EFC, that's changed. I noticed that this slide is actually from last year, so sorry. The new deadline for this year is going to be August 1st. So that deadline for our graduating seniors this year is apply to Gateway and get accepted to your program before August 1st, and apply to financial aid. Once you see what your financial aid status is, or your SAI, Student Aid Index, I've been let know that negative 1,500 is the score that you're kind of looking for that SAI. And if you meet those requirements, you should be able to come into our Promise program. We have Ken Riley, who is the Promise program coordinator. So Ken will actually be coming with us out to our high schools that we visit with, or if you need to meet with Ken virtually, I can share his booking link so you can connect with Ken directly. Ken is on the Promise team, so he's not on this picture, but Ken him on the next one. I know. This is all of my teammates. These are all the new student specialists, and this is my contact info. Honestly, if you just want to leave my contact info up for the rest of the slides, that's totally cool with me.
These I want to give Ken a little love. That's all.
Yeah, no, Ken is incredible though. He has a nice supportive staff too. And I do want to plug too, just in case we have, individuals who speak Spanish or any other languages here, that, we provide services for translating if you need help at student services. And if you're looking to learn English, we, have a program where you can learn English, and that's free. We try and make school as accessible and affordable as possible. There's a lot of different ways that you can apply for not only the Promise Scholarship, but additional scholarships that we offer for brand new or continuing students. So if you're really interested in anything Gateway, I would highly suggest, connecting with your school. Those counselors know how to get in touch with us. That slide had all of my contact information as well. Really, whatever way you see fit. It's our philosophy at Gateway that there's no bad place to start. Say you go to financial aid first because that's the thing you're most curious about. That's perfect. That's where you started at Gateway. And we're going to give you the best advice that we have on who that other specialist is that you should see next and what that next step is for you to take.
Got it.
So no matter where you start, we want to be part of it.
Wow. Ton of information. Joe, how do we do capturing and telling the story, not only your story, the option story, but the Gateway story? What are your thoughts? Did we miss anything? Anything you want to add? Anything?
I don't think we missed anything at all. I know since I was so young and I was succeeding in the Gateway culinary program, there was a student that came up to one of the instructors and said I was his idol for that because I was so young and succeeding. And I told him it's because of my schools.
And as we drop the mic, we just right. Well, that's awesome. And Joe, so are you working tomorrow?
I am working tomorrow.
Do you know what restaurant you're going to be working out of?
I'll probably be in banquets.
In banquets. Okay. What do we got coming in for banquets? A lot of people.
We're starting to get into our slower season. So I think tomorrow we have like 4 or 5 of maybe 50 people each, if not a little more.
So
wow.
What's on the did you get to see the menu on the front end or no?
I always see the menu on the front end every day.
Okay, so what's kind of the standard bill of fare here that for some of these banquets? What is it like?
It differs on the day because we offer different menus per day, so it's a little easier for our team to be able to push out so much food for so many parties. Tomorrow, I believe, is going to be a chicken piccata with any kind of veg you prefer, and then probably marbled potatoes or mashed potatoes.
Man,
that sounds great.
yeah. You just can't go wrong with anything potato. Like, come on.
No,
that's awesome. Good. Well, maybe you'll be able to be doing banquets for prom someday when
you set up the event and we can have you.
There you go. I love it. So, Miss Rami, before we jump off another successful school scoop, why don't you any closing remarks before we do our closing little fun activity?
Yeah, I just want to first thank Sam and Joe so much for coming here and offering your perspective and advice, and I hope that families and students that are watching understand that if your student is interested in exploring and earning dual credit, interested in a flexible school schedule, and interested in that they're motivated and they're hard workers, and they'd like to start really moving toward their future today, that Options Virtual Charter School is here. And thanks to the Elkhorn Area School District for supporting this programming, and Gateway and our UW system for supporting these programs that we can offer to our students.
That's awesome. Before we cue up the School Scoop Ice Cream Man music, which I got all ready and uploaded, let's go around the room. We talked before. Let's do 2 quick questions. Let's start with the first one. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Sam, go.
Reese's.
Ooh, good call. Joe?
I would have to say Airheads.
Ooh.
Okay. Miss Rimey.
All right, controversial candy corn.
Oh.
Ooh. Are you brand specific?
Is there?
I am not. I am not. Whichever ones my mom puts in her candy jar, those are great. It's not my favorite candy, but you asked Halloween candy.
I agree.
You did say Halloween candy, and you changed my answer completely.
Yeah.
Reese's or Kit Kat would be up there if it was just any time of year.
Okay. Joe, are you more of a candy guy than a chocolate guy?
Yeah.
Okay. See, because I think you're either or. Okay. Give me a good old fashioned Snicker bar. You can't go wrong with that.
Okay.
I'm probably dating myself. Okay, here we're gonna close with the last one. We got a comment coming in from. Look at
Tammy.
Tammy loves her candy corn. Loves her candy corn. Well, there's two people in the world. So all right, here we go. Favorite. It can be one of your old costumes, or you're gonna wear this year, or you'd love to wear. I'm not a huge Halloween guy, but I have something I've always wanted to wear. So, okay, Sam, what's your favorite costume?
My favorite costume was when I was a little girl growing up. I wanted to be a cat. My dad bought me this Wolverine costume, and I went around going wow at people, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, you're Wolverine!" And I cried the whole time, and I was trying to say, "No, I'm a cat."
Whoa, 3 candy corns.
Yes.
3 candy corns.
That's my 3rd grade art teacher right there. Thank you for the support, Sharon.
Okay, so there's 3 people in the world that like candy corn. Can I get a 4th? All right, so Sam, when you told that story about the cat and the Wolverine, did anybody ever see the photos and videos of the zoo in China that didn't have pandas, and they painted the dogs to look like I'm sorry, that's the first thing I thought of. So
yes,
they're walking around like dogs. You're like, what?
Oh my gosh,
yeah. All right, Joe, here we go. Tee it up. You got half your family on here, so they're gonna have some comments. So hopefully I'll make sure I read them for you, buddy.
So what they probably want me to go as is Buzz Lightyear, and there's a story behind that. They think I look like the new Buzz from the Buzz movie.
Well, he's a very how's that?
Very handsome.
I'm going to try to do Russell from Up. I think I'm going to do that this year.
Oh, is Russell the older guy?
Russell is the scout.
Oh, got it. Okay. I saw it years ago. So, yeah. By the way, should I post it? There it is. See. All right, Miss Rimey, here we go.
All right. Unless you know women's soccer, you may not pick up on this, but I was Brandy Chastain for like 4 years in a row. Great soccer player. I looked up to her. But the essential part of the costume is there's no pumpkin bucket. There's no grocery bag. It's a pillowcase, and that's how you collect candy.
I love that.
I love it. Kicking it old school. All right. So I am a Star Wars nut. Love it. And I don't, I'm a little old for Halloween. I don't get dressed up. I don't enjoy it. But if I could go as anybody, I would like to go as Boba Fett. I just think that would be the problem is I don't know if they make a helmet big enough for my head, but I just think that would be like a really cool costume and walking around, because I just think it's super intimidating.
Especially if you could get a jetpack.
Now we're doing something. Uh-oh. One of the sisters chimed in too.
Aww.
And look at this one.
Oh yeah.
Tammy and Miss Rimey are right on candy and pieces. All right. What a fun show. Sam, thank you for pulling over and being on here and giving all of our incredible viewers and listeners on the School Scoop overview and a deep, really understanding of the Gateway promise and everything Gateway offers. We'll leave this up so they can reach out to you. You got a QR code, way to use it effectively.
Yep.
You
Yep. That's to book an appointment with me at Gateway. And I'm so glad that you guys had me on today. I'm happy to be here.
You can come on the next, if you want, join us for a school scoop. They're fun. Joe, to your point, I just wanted to say to you, we're proud of you. Congratulations on entering your career. You're going
Thank
in
you.
not with debt, you're making money. As your family has said, top of your class, you're 20 years old. Look at that. Congratulations, and thanks for taking time to be on here. Miss Rimey, anything else before we hit the music? I got some new music. You're going to like it.
I'm excited. Just Chris, thank you so much for leading us. And if families have any questions, Options Virtual Charter School is here for you.
Okay, now I'm going to play some music that I'm old enough to remember that in the subdivision in summer, when you heard this, you ran in the house to see if you could get some money, and then you ran out. How great is that? All right, everybody, thanks. Have a great evening.
Thanks.
Oh, it's getting louder.